sides were up against each other in the Men's Asian Champion Trophy. That's where Japan beat them in the semi-final in the scoreline that went 5-3. But this is the lineup for India going into this encounter. Suraj in goal has been very good. A couple of blips, of course, including performance yesterday. But up front, we've seen a great deal of enterprise being shown by Manjeet, by Maninder. Pawan Rajbhar is an outstanding, given the workload that he's put in every match. Vishnukant Singh, another player that you've got to highlight. Tips in Turkey has been good, but then of course then you look at the experience of SV Sunil, Virendra Lakra, even Neelam Sanjeev on the drag flicks. That's come in handy for this Indian side as well. When you look at Japan, you look at Takashi Yoshikawa in goal, but their captain Seiren Tanaka is the man who's the pivot around which this team revolves. He's very solid in defense. Up in attack, there's the young Ikumi Saiki, who can be quite a handful. Kaito Tanaka, another one of those players who's been doing a great job. When it comes to drag flicks, Japan rely heavily on Ken Nagayoshi. And the fact that they've got Koji Yamazaki, their number one, who's been a live wire in terms of scoring goals for the Japanese team in this tournament. Scored a total of 6 goals so far. Right, we're set for this match to get underway. In the commentary box with me is Vigneshwaran. I'm Raman Bhanot. It's Japan who lined up to the left of your screen. They're the ones who are taking that pushback. They'll be attacking from left to right, will Japan, in this bronze medal match. Quick early free hit for India. Taking the way back towards Virendra Lakra. Chooses to switch flanks, go towards the right. Played forward down that channel. Fortunately, no takers. SV Sunil was expecting a pass more towards the inner line. You see Vijay Karyappa there, and Sardar Singh, who's the head coach of this side. It's come at the Eurasia Cup 2022 here to Jakarta. The second purpose that these youngsters need to keep in mind, the fact that it's a young side, they've got to also learn from their mistakes. They scored against Korea, couldn't hold on to the lead, were a man down, not once but twice. When Korea equalized, that's another thing they've got to be careful of. Another free hit for India meanwhile. The other side is Akira Takahashi, coach of the Japanese team. Charge of a side that won the Asian Games gold in Jakarta 4 years ago in 2018, and it's a side that you can't really trifle with, this Japanese team. Trying to take a crack in towards the striking circle. It's been deflected for a long corner for India. Manjeet's been very, very electric on that left flank. He's been quick. He's shown some great stick work as well. This time they were searching for Pawan Rajbhar up in that striking circle. The pass from Dips in Turkey, just a little too quick for Pawan Rajbhar to get across to. Talking about what's at stake here. Mispass by Japan as Vishnukant comes away with the ball. Good stick work, creates some space down the center, takes on one defender but does get a free hit for India. Meanwhile, with the infringement, as India get another free hit. It's just outside the striking circle. Had to make the ball travel 5 meters, which is why they had to play it backwards, the Indian side. Remember, if that free hit is given within the dotted line that you see on your screen, as it has been given now, this free hit just outside the striking circle, but within the dotted line, they've got to play it back or play it out so the ball travels at least 5 meters before they can play it back in towards the striking circle. That's why they're passed back now. It's Neelam Sanjeev. Plays it forward towards us. It's been cracked in towards the striking circle. Pawan Rajbhar again, just bouncing. Ball just bounced awkwardly off his stick, but now it's Karthi. Pull back towards Maninder, but it's Japan who come away with the ball. Not for long, it's a free hit for India. Well, India, someone's been engrossed in the game in the commentary box. My colleague Vic has been watching silently.
Yeah, India has been pushing forward all this while, and I'm just impressed to see the young Indian team pushing forward against a well-oiled Japanese team. And I've been thinking that Japan winning the first 3 matches, losing all the Super Fours, and here they are. What happened to them?
Well, they're searching for an answer this time. It's a great pass by Pawan Rajbar. SV Sunil manages to earn a free hit for India with that check coming in from Kirishita. It's a free hit just outside that 23. It's going to be taken by Maninda. Umpire wants it taken at the right place. Again, it's come off the foot. Pushed there by the Indian, which is why the free hit for Japan. 6 goals for Koji Yamazaki of Japan. Keep an eye out for him. He's very lethal, especially from open play. For the moment, it's Dipson Turkey looking to clear from deep inside the Indian half.
The only game that India lost in this tournament was that game, their first game against Japan. The first game, Japan game, and then after that they yet to lose any match.
Oh, this could be a chance here for Japan in the striking circle into a scoring position. Somehow stopped and then cleared by the Indian defense.
Free hit for Japan.
Danger still lurking. Another clearance by the Indian defense, but it hasn't gone far. Maninda jostling for the ball, doesn't get to it. As Japan come away with ball possession. Creating an opportunity, having numbers in the striking circle.
Again, another free hit for Japan.
Taken this time by Fujishima. Switching flanks towards the left. Back down the central channel. Ohashi is trying to create some space on one of the 2 flanks by switching the ball from right to left and back to the right, but Maninda will come away with the ball now. India looking to go on the counter. Rajkumar plays the pass for Pawan Rajbar. Out towards Uttam Singh on that right. Uttam trying to cut into the striking circle. Does well. He holds on to the ball possession. Great stick work. Can Uttam go all the way? India will score. He makes the pass, does Uttam. And the finish comes through. I think it's Rajkumar who's found the back of the board. India score.
Well, what a work from defense. Moving up front. And Uttam working on the right, through the baseline, pressuring 2 players at challenge, still managed to outwit. And then a square pass to actually Rajkumar scoring first goal for India. Rajkumar Pal, very well struck into the spot. You can see the Japanese keeper Takashi Yoshikawa was covering the near post, leaving the far post open, giving India 1-0 lead.
When you look at that free play, the other thing that you'll see is there were 2 passing options created for Uttam Singh. One was by Pawan Rajbar, who just pulled back a tad, took away a defender with him, created the space for the pass to be played by Uttam towards Rajkumar Pal, who made no mistake. But now can India hold on to the lead? Remember that scoring hasn't been a problem for the side as Japan try and take a crack at goal towards the far post. You saw there was a Japanese player there, Ochahai, who was just looking to poach a tap in.
We'll see Kato collecting the ball and creating space for himself, knocking into the far post, but cannot find any of his teammates in that far post area.
Just outside that frame in the replay that you saw, there was Ochahai who was making a run, but just a little too far wide to make much of a difference. So India 1-0 up again, and that's not been a problem for this Indian side. Scoring hasn't been a problem for this Indian team. They've scored in every match that they've played. In fact, now a chance again into the striking circle. It's cleared by the Japanese defense. They scored first against Pakistan, remember, in the opening game of this tournament, before Pakistan equalized in the penultimate minute of the match. Against Japan as well, they scored a couple of goals. Against Indonesia, they pumped in 16. Look at what they did in the Super Fours as well. Beating Japan 2-1. Drawing Malaysia 3-all. Scoring 4 against the Koreans. So scoring goals hasn't been a problem for this young side. They've got the skill set. They've got the attacking mindset as well. The problem has been ensuring that they don't concede after they score.
And maintain the focus, being consistent.
Well, this could be a chance here for Japan. Trying the square pass, it's well intercepted. They've got to clear it carefully without conceding a penalty corner, and they do the right thing. It's come off the foot of the Japanese player. It's going to be a free hit out for India. Scored one of 4 circle penetrations of India. Japan have also managed 4 circle penetrations, but yet to score. Look at the number of goals scored by this Indian side now in the tournament. It's 29. Just one short of 30, which is how many the Malaysians have scored in this tournament. The top goal scoring team in this tournament has been Malaysia. India just one shy of that mark.
Carried away by the Japanese goalkeeper, giving a corner for India.
Here comes Birinder Lakra. Oh, great run into the striking circle and gets India a penalty corner as well. Well, he was just weaving his way past the defenders, was Birinder Lakra.
Well, his experience, where you can see Lakra was drawing into the space and then he made a reverse stab onto the leg.
I think it's Ohashi.
Masaki Ohashi, just trying to avoid of a clearance from his teammate Ochiai, giving India a penalty corner.
Right, the first penalty corner of this game for the Indians. You can see Dipson Turkey lining up on the first castle. It's SV Sunil who will inject. Who do they go to? The first off to nothing. Oh, it's come off the post and the keeper had to react quickly and made sure that he cleared on the side, didn't push the ball behind the back line, the baseline. Otherwise it would have been another penalty corner for Japan.
Very cleverly followed by Suraj.
Now, here comes Japan. Maybe at times it's just that little rub of the green that's required by a side that's trailing. Japan almost got that. Here they come again. It's Fujishima, but Manjit comes away with the ball, showing those fantastic 3D skills that we saw on display when he scored that magnificent goal against the Japanese team.
And here he does it again.
Oh, look at that. I think he took the Japanese by surprise in the previous game. I think they know what he can do now.
Definitely they would have watched that video of him scoring that goal again and again.
I think it was one of the top contenders probably for goal of the tournament. Just the sheer way in which he made that run down the left. Pawan Rajbhar providing the pass, and then Manjit showing his individual brilliance to score.
Yeah.
Ochai. It's that pass. Saiki deflected off an Indian player's stick for a hit-in that should be taken by Koji Yamazaki. No, he leaves it for his teammate. Quickly moves in towards the striking circle, does Yamazaki, who's the leading goal scorer for Japan with 6 goals in this tournament. Seren Tanaka does the 180 turn, but the pass isn't the best from him, and India come away with the ball. Kajit throws it forward, and I think the Indian player's gone to ground. It's Karthi, and I think the infringement has been called against him.
Yeah, the umpire is not happy for what he saw. It's the Japan free hit.
Just about a minute and a half left on the clock in this opening quarter. Japan with another attack. Chance for a shot at goal. It's gone for a long corner. Suraj closing down the angle. If you look at that replay, he quickly closed down the angle on the near post. Seren Tanaka takes that long corner with a pushback. Japan have created opportunities. They've just created a little hustle in the Indian defense time and time again. You
Look at that move, a slip where Kosei gets the ball, takes a shot, but Suraj have narrowed down the angle.
And wasn't the best of shots as well. Didn't really get the kind of contact he would have liked on the ball. More hit into the ground than really firm contact with the ball. But this is another run by Vishnukant. Oh, I think his foot got caught in the stick of the Japanese player. That's why he fell.
There is a card. Tackle here by Niwa. I think Niwa gets a green card.
Yes, he is. Yes, you can see him straight on the top of your screens. He's sitting there on the suspension bench as here come India.
It's 11-11 now. Nagai with the ball. Wins a free hit. Quickly passes it on, but take it again, says the umpire.
I think he's not happy with the spot from which the game was restarted. Yes, and he wants the ball pulled back to the right area where the infringement was committed. Again, it's Nagayoshi into the striking circle, unable to trap that cleanly. I think it's come off the stick of an Indian player for a long corner. Nagai didn't do much there. And Niwa this time around, the ball hits his foot. It's going to be a free hit out for the Indians.
India takes the free hit.
Towards Birendra Lakra. They're holding on to ball possession. I think what India have done well in this match is change gears and adjust the pace of the game. They've slowed it up now, and very quickly, the moment they find a pocket of space, that's when they're upping the pace of the game. This time it's going to be a hit in for India. SV Sunil takes the self pass, looks for a passing option, finds Manjeet. Two Indians on that left channel, but Manjeet plays it towards SV Sunil into a corner. This could be a problem. It's going to be a free hit for India. Well done by SV Sunil, using his experience there.
Manjeet takes it, hammers it in.
Another free hit.
The legs of the defenders. Free hit for India.
3 goals for SV Sunil in this tournament. 3 for Karthi Selvam as well. 3 goals for Neelab Sanjeev. He's done well on the penalty corner conversions, albeit I'm sure the Indian team would like to work a little more on that one aspect of their game. Quality of the drag bricks to be able to score directly against tougher opposition.
Free hit for Japan.
Just asking things to calm down. There's Nazmi Kamruddin, the on-field umpire from Malaysia. Here on the turn, Karthi unable to keep control of the ball.
Yeah, my bad.
Saying to the umpire, the ball is not taken where it's supposed to be.
My bad, sorry.
That's why I'm not 5 meters. So he has a valid point.
Yes, but the umpire replying, I know exactly what's to be done. I'm the umpire.
Yeah.
Let me decide.
Yeah, but I think they had a fair share of discussion.
Yes, here come Japan, but well won by Pawan Rajbar. Very well defended. As India come away with the ball, can they catch Japan on the transition? Bad pass there.
Not the best of reverse step.
Here comes Niwa for Japan. Down the right channel, takes on Manjeet. In fact, it's going to be a free hit. It's been given the ball, probably hitting Manjeet on the foot. So free hit quickly taken. Another one.
Free kick.
Into the striking circle, Japan in with a chance. They get a penalty corner. It's come off the foot of the Indian defender at the far post.
Quickly taken by Japan. Nagai tosses it into the far post and then over deflection hits Neelam's legs and a penalty corner for.
I think it's the goal scorer there, Rajkumar Pal, who was defending at the second post. The ball hit him on the right leg. So the goal scorer for India now conceding a penalty corner. And you could just see him walking out with a very disconsolate look on his face, Rajkumar Pal. He knows he's given Japan a chance here to maybe score the equalizer. Just over 10 minutes left on the clock in the second quarter. Here come Japan with this penalty corner. They're first in the match. Deflected away for another penalty corner off the foot of the Russia.
Yashdeep.
Yes, it just got him square. Yashdeep Sewaj was just limped back to take his defensive position on the line. Another penalty corner, the second one for Japan. as Yamamizu has gone to take the inject on this. Yamamizu ready towards that second castle. Again saved by the on-rusher, and well done, Yashdeep Sewaj doing the job defensively once again,
denying the Japanese of goal scoring opportunity.
Japan asking for another penalty corner. They're not going to get it this time. Pawan Rajbhat plays that pass forward as India come away with the ball. Karthi Selvam keeps it in play but can't hold on to ball possession.
He loses his balance. Very good tackle by Maninda.
Towards the edge of the baseline, Japan still managing to keep the ball in play, and finally that move breaks down.
Japan pressing, trying to find something, trying to find an equalizer to redeem themselves. Just have yet to break open the Indian defense.
And I think Manjeet is just waiting to come back on the field. 8 circle penetrations for Japan compared to 5 by India. Now India back to full strength. The suspension of 2 minutes served out. Time's been served out, albeit I think it's Yashdeep Sewaj who's come on in place of Manjeet. Run by Neelam Sanjeev, cracked in towards the striking circle. India with a chance. The keeper coming off the line and just narrowing the angle down. He's pulled off a save as well. This great work by Takahashi Yoshikawa.
Well, Karthi was trying to find the angle, but Takahashi was closing down. That's why he delayed and had to turn in that instance earlier.
Yes, Yashdeep Sewaj now plays the pass towards Vishnukant. Pulls it all the way back towards Birendra Lakra. Back towards Sheshagowda. Dispossessed there. Vishnukant didn't get the first touch right on the stick as Yamazaki comes away with the ball. He's pacing. He has got the pace and he's got the skill as well to go with the experience. Tries to crack the ball into the striking circle. Neelam Sanjeev takes his time, only clears and averts the danger.
Yes, cross, and here Karthi had no choice but to hold on to the shot. And look at that recovery of the goalkeeper. First he went out quick to deny that shot, and then he recovered to save that ball at that point at the near post. Very good goalkeeping by Yakashi.
Pass has been intercepted as here comes Japan. There's no player on the second post to take advantage of that missed trap. As now it's Yashdeep Sewaj carrying the ball down that left channel. Malaysia in that final. It's a team that you cannot trifle with. It's a side that has run India close. And when I say run India close, I'm saying the Indian first team close on many occasions. In recent times, in the Asian Champions Trophy, that semi-final again, a crunch match where India went on to lose. So this side can't be taken lightly. They're very disciplined as a unit, this Japanese side. And again, you talked about workload for this young Indian team that's playing here at the Hero Asia Cup. You've got to give credit to Japan for being able to manage that workload and that intensity through the game as well. That's been another hallmark of this team from the land of the rising sun.
I agree with you more. These guys have so much of legs. Tireless in, out. They just go out, take shot, sit, recover very quickly and get on to the next task. That's what they've been doing, rolling with a very short period out.
Played well by Birendra Lakra, now into the striking circle. It's been tipped over, it's a long corner. Neelam Sanjeev just trying to get a hopeful ball in towards the striking circle. Take another look at this.
Off a deflection, poof. He was actually trying to slip to his teammate.
Yes, now it's a long corner taken by India. Back towards Birendra Lakra into the final minute of the first half. Tips in Turkey. Just waiting with the ball, hoping that you'll see some sort of a press forward by the Japanese side.
No rush. India has the ball crossing in again.
Pawan Rajbhar played it into the striking circle, but Japan managing to avert the danger. They look to come away with a free hit on that in fact, on the left flank. From the left sideline towards Seren Tanaka, who plays it all the way back into his own striking circle. Right here they come. Again, it's going to be Maninda who's got to take that long corner. Trying to switch flanks, goes towards the left. Trying to stretch this Japanese defense thin. A free hit from just outside that striking circle, and therefore pull back. The ball travel at least 5. Lipson Turkey. Pass out to the left now, switching flanks towards Maninda. He's got a passing option to the right, and it's Neelam Sanchip. Well trapped by SV Sunil. Cleared away by Nagayoshi for a hit in for India. It's going to be a long corner. It's just gone behind the baseline. So a long corner taken from the point right, perpendicular to where the ball had gone out from.
It's India pressing on Japan now. Nagai trying to close and not providing an option to pass to the back. But then they still managed to pass to the back and gaining control from behind.
And look, they're trying to draw the Japanese players onto one side, one channel, and then switch to the other where some space is being created. A lot of times viewers watching will be wondering why those parallel passes are being played from left to right and otherwise.
Don't do this, huh? Pushing ahead, okay? Okay, I watch it, huh?
Salim
Okay.
asking Ikumi Saiki to stop. He's probably a little physical action, trying to block one of the Indian players.
Also aiming to draw the Japanese players forward, something that Japan aren't really doing. They're almost at half-court press, if one can call it that. Played forward in towards the striking circle. SV Sunil was waiting for a ball to be played in his direction. Oh, there was a mistrap by Yamamizu, but Japan still keep ball possession. Good turn by Niwa. As they come away down the left now. Kaito Tanaka playing that ball forward for Niwa, but is unable to get much from it. In that long corner. Nagayoshi plays it forward. Here comes Seren Tanaka in the striking circle. On the reverse, Seren Tanaka crack taken towards the goal face and cleared by the Indian defense.
Very well defended.
And it's the experience of Birendra Lakra.
Gets the ball and you can see trying to find it across. But it was Dipson Turkey who managed to trap and clear that ball.
Before that, you look at how quickly you try and close down the ball carrier. That's the job Birendra Lakra did. Trying to get close enough to Seren Tanaka to not give him a lot of space to maneuver.
Pressure.
That's so crucial. It's about applying the right amount of pressure as well. You don't want to go very, very close to the ball carrier and give away an infringement or a penalty corner. Now into the striking circle, the ball lifted dangerously off a Japanese player's stick. So a free hit out for India. Nagai, the culprit on that occasion.
He was trying to trap, but it was a little bit too high and dangerous. So it's the umpire.
Times you've seen this. This is well done by the young Indian side. Look at how quickly they played those short passes, trying to thread the gaps between the onrushing Japanese players. And they've created space here now on the right channel. This is a good run. Cracked in towards the striking circle. Deflected out for a long corner.
Shishi's forward pass.
He was the hero man of the match in yesterday's game for India versus Korea. He's played it forward now. Mariswaran plays it forward. It's going to be a simple free hit out for the Japanese side.
Very good reverse pickup by Mariswaran, moving in and trying to play across. There was two players. One of them was Sudev.
And the other Karthi. I think he hit Karthi on the foot, which is why that free hit out was given to the Japanese side. That's another difference you'll notice when India have got ball possession and it's Japan who've got the ball possession. Look at the positioning of the Indian players. Is another thing you've got to keep an eye on.
Picking up their man.
Exactly. They're not just standing and trying to cut out passing angles, they're also man marking as well, as you can notice very, very clearly.
And they are within engaging distance.
So, yeah, that's the other part. It's about whether you're creating a press on the opposition player as well. This team has worked out its tactics very well. It's going to be a long corner for Japan. But this young Indian side, I think, it's got a lot of positives to talk about from this tournament. Now, here they come on the counter. Oh, he can't. It's a hit in for India on that left sideline. That's where you'd can highlight positives for this Indian side. But how they create those passing opportunities as well. Played forward for Uttam it was. Able to trap it cleanly. The free hit for Japan. This time the infringement by Rajkumar, India's goal scorer in this match. Rajkumar Pal. Just a warning and a free hit for Japan.
Retake, says the umpire.
Call for another infringement.
And a penalty corner.
And Virendra Lakra just inquiring with the on-field umpire about the reason for giving that. And you can see it clearly on the replay, that collision.
England was trying to avoid the ball, but in that process, he accidentally blocks the ball carrier and gives a penalty corner for Japan.
Remember the first couple of penalty corners that Japan got in this match, it was Yashdeep Savage who did a great job in preventing Japan from scoring. Now, it's going to be Yamazaki to inject for Japan. And it's Ken Nagayoshi with the drag flick that goes wide. He's not going to be a happy man, the coach of the Japanese team, Akira Takahashi.
Well, just total waste, flicking it out of bearings.
Good interception. Very well done by Virendra Lakra, using his experience and anticipation. Pawan Rajbhar plays it out towards Vishnukant. Moves up for receiving a pass. Does Uttam. Tried to play it towards Pawan Rajbhar, who's asking for a free hit. But it's not been given. India will... They won't get the ball here. They will get a free hit with Japan.
Vishnukant falls down and brings the Japanese player down. Free hit for Japan.
Circle, but Japan defending well and in numbers.
Very good skill by Abraham Sudev.
Beautifully done. This young Indian side just doesn't cease to impress. They've got such great skill, great ball control. And what's the best part is that they've got great attitude. This young Indian side, they've shown a certain degree of fearlessness. As well, I think these are very good steps taken in Indian hockey to have the youngsters coming for a tournament like this, give them the chance. A lot of young players who've represented India in the Junior World Cup, now debuting in the senior team, widening the pool of players available to choose from. Great skill, Birendra cannot stop him, and it's a penalty corner for Japan.
To the legs of Sheshe Gowda. What a run it was. Worked out by Uka Royuma, who then tried to make a reverse pass, trying to find Niva, and then onto the legs of Sheshe Gowda, giving Japan a penalty corner.
Ryoma Uka, he scored 3 goals for Japan in this tournament. Now he's got Japan a penalty corner, another one in this third quarter. Remember the earlier one was dragged wide by Ken Nagayoshi. Yamamizu has gone for the inject for this penalty corner. They're number 10. And this time around they've tried a variation, but India, I think, alert to that. Birendra Lakra comes away with the ball. They wanted to try a variation, have the runner from the extreme right run in for a deflection, but India were aware of that.
Cut those options off, so Japan they were not able to do that set piece, being intercepted.
Hit in from the left for Fujishima. Led into the striking circle, so a free hit for Japan.
Nagai
Oh,
trying to set it for his teammate Kirishita.
what do they say? All lines on this route are busy. Not getting the communication right with his teammate.
Japan pushing forward actually in this fourth quarter, pressing on the Indian players.
Good turn, wonderful turn by Maninda. Plays it towards Birendra Lakra, who gets dispossessed by Kirishita. That's a very important steal. And a crack taken by Yamazaki, deflection, and it's going to be a penalty corner for Japan.
Very well taken shot, and then Nagai goes in, and then there is a foul, thus giving a penalty for Japan. And in that process, a slight injury on Vishnu Khan.
Sorry.
It's down to the ground. Taken a body
It was a red
blow.
line.
There was a stick on that body. The shot taken by Yamasaki blew into his body.
That magic spray to ease the pain, but now India will have to defend this penalty corner. Yamazaki to inject. Crucial moments for the Indian defense in this fourth quarter. Here come Japan. Well blocked by the on-rushing Manjit, but he's conceded a penalty corner.
Penalty corner for Japan.
Akira Takahashi is looking a little worried, quite understandably, because Japan haven't looked really penetrative in the penalty corners today.
They have Kirishita.
On the first battery, yes, it's Kirishita now. Not the cleanest of stops, and I think Japan might want to use their referral here.
Thanks. Show it early, Lucky.
Penalty corner for Japan.
And they have given a penalty corner. No need for video umpire referral. There was a missed stop, and then Kirishita just flicked the ball and it touched into the legs of the Indian player before it went out.
Flurry of penalty corners here for Japan. Sustained pressure. Kirishita again. This time around the ball lifting dangerously. It's going to be a free hit out for India, and the clock has been stopped because I think one of the Indian players is down. It's Manjit.
Okay. I called it.
He's taken a body blow for the team. It does take a lot of guts to rush out. Try and face up to a drive trick
picking
like
up
this.
the ball and trafficking directly into Manjit. Obviously, it's a foul because it's above the knee, but into the body of Manjit, giving a free hit for India with 11:54 on the clock in the fourth quarter.
I wonder if there should be a special medal of bravery that needs to be instituted for all these first rushers in hockey. You've got these players taking drag flicks at over 140 kilometers per hour. You're rushing on to face a drag flick like that, closing down the gap, probably which will increase the pace at which the ball's going to come at you.
Definitely.
Here comes Yamazaki, meanwhile, tries to cut in. The keeper trying to narrow the angle, clears it well. And India avert the danger for the moment. Suraj doing well. Japan again, this time from the right channel. It's going to break down for a long corner. Take it from the right spot. Another one-goal lead. It's not something that the Indians can really sit back on comfortably. It may prove to be enough, but it's something that you cannot just sit back on, because it's like grains of sand slipping through your hand.
You can see Japan pushing forward, trying to find that equalizer.
Here come Japan again, but this time no takers for that forward ball played. I think intended recipient was Koji Yamazaki.
Even luck up to the ball.
Sleeps the wedge. Oh, that's a weak touch on the ball, and it's going to be a free hit for Japan. Just tried to round the on-rushing Japanese player, but it just missed it. Didn't get the ideal touch on the ball with Yashdeep Savage, but he's been very, very brave today, especially when defending the penalty corners earlier. Took a couple of body blows for the team as well. The first couple of penalty corners that Japan got.
Finding option, making a transfer.
Track down the center, the ball's lifted dangerously. It's going to be a free hit for Japan.
Off the stick.
Penalty corner
Yashdeep,
for
if I'm not
Japan.
mistaken, onto the body of Nagai, giving a penalty corner. That is what the umpire sees. Push off the stick.
Oh,
There's a touch. Actually, it's Rajkumar.
once again, Rajkumar Pal, India's goal scorer. This time, he ends up conceding a penalty corner again. You could see it on his face. He knew they made the mistake.
His positioning was a bit out of that angle where he couldn't have the best of trap into the ball. And of course, before that, there was a deflection of the first defender as well.
Absolutely. Another penalty corner for Japan. Yamazaki, ready to inject. And they go towards the second battery. And it's been cleared by the Indian defense.
This time, Tanaka trying to... Or are they going for power play? Which means 11 field players.
Maybe.
Because they have to chase for that goal.
No, they won't take that chance with about 8 minutes left on the clock just yet. Vic, I think they want to change keepers. I think that blow to the head, at the back of the head especially, I think is a cause of worry, which is why Yusuke Morita comes out and Takashi Yoshikawa is gone on the bench. Japan take that free hit out. Well intercepted. Turkey doing a good job there. Once again, passing options being created. Sheshagowda takes on two Japanese players. He's got a passing option in front of him, doesn't use that. Makes that solo run, finds SV Sunil. SV Sunil now hemmed in, manages to get a free hit.
Gets the ball, takes a shot.
They're keeping the ball in play. Maninda on the turn. Can he get a shot off? Slice is under it. In fact, it's taken the stick of a Japanese player. It's gone for a long corner. But that's an area where you know, if you're an Indian who's followed Indian hockey for the last few years, you'd fancy a player like Gurjant to be coming in very handy with the tomahawk reverse. He's very good from those angles. Maninda tried his bit as well. It's just come off the stick of the Japanese player for long corner. Ball lifting dangerously. This time it's going to be a free hit out for Japan. A lot of those regulars that we keep hearing about, you keep talking about from the Indian side, aren't a part of this team, remember? No Manpreet, no Amit Rohidas. Even the Pal Singh isn't here. Remember, he came out of retirement but got injured before the start of this tournament. There's no Gurjant, there's no Lalit Upadhyay, there's no Nilakanta in this side. Shamsher, Dilpreet, the players you've seen, Surinder, you've seen regularly, and of course in goal there's the wall for India. Srijesh, who can forget him?
Lomo Sadarov remaining in this game.
If they can hold on to this 1-goal lead, India will take the bronze here at the Hero Asia Cup 2022. Forward by Birendra Lakra now in towards the striking circle. Just, I think, a little off balance was Abharan Sudev as the ball was played towards him. The young lad got a hat-trick the other day. Abharan Sudev, I think it was versus Indonesia.
Quickly taken, Pawan analysed, and I think he gets a green card.
This could be trouble here for India. They're down to 10, I think, with the card being shown to Pawan Rajbar. Is it? You gotta get you a confirmation, but it did seem as if he was heading towards the sin bin, and yes, he is there. So India down to 10. 4 minutes left on the clock, and more, about a couple of minutes of that, India will be playing with 10 men. SV Sunil start coming away with the ball. Confirmation of that 2-minute suspension for Pawan Rajbar. Very crucial moment in the match when he's picked up this the green card, especially because of the kind of high work rate that he brings to the table for India. His absence may be felt.
3.5 on the clock.
He scored 4 goals for India in this tournament as well as Pawan Rajbar. He's contributed, he's provided an assist, quite a few others.
Quickly taken by Ken Nagayoshi. Pushing it to the right and forward.
Japan want to make the most of the man advantage that they have, but India do well. Come away with the ball. Here comes Uttam. Passing options to the left and right, but he chooses to play it forward, and India lose out in ball possession. This pass by the Japanese side. Now under 3 minutes, and maybe another half a minute before India can get back to full strength. Back forward by Birendra Lakra, but this comes to nothing. The suspension bench will give us an idea whether India are back to full strength now. I think there you can see it just about. India just waiting to get Pawan Rajbar back out on the field. Another 5 seconds or so.
Corner for Japan. Bring it to the right, and baseline just couldn't find Niwa. 16 for India.
There you see him. Pawan Rajbar is back on the field. And India just prepping a couple of rolling substitutions as well. Under 2 minutes to go in this match. India, for the moment, look as if they may hold on to that 1-goal lead. Take the bronze here at the Hero Asia Cup 2022. But Japan may want to change that. The ball's lifted is what the Indian defender is claiming. Again onto the foot of the Indian player.
Yellow card.
No, now video. It's outside territory.
Yellow card has been given.
It's been given to an Indian player, so India again down to 10.
I think it's Manjeet, perhaps.
Or was it Maninder?
Oh,
We'll
Vishnukaran.
just have to confirm that for a moment. India come away with the ball under a minute and a half, and it's Sheshagowda. Leaves it for Pawan Rajbhar, who gets dispossessed there by Ohashi. It's Manjit who's been shown that yellow card. So the remainder of the time left on the clock in this fourth quarter, India will be down to 10 men. I don't think he's wincing because of that knock that he's taken on the hand. I think he's wincing because he knows that he's put India in a spot here. Here come Japan. Yamazaki drawing forward into the striking circle. There's going to be nothing there. The shot was taken from outside.
Corner.
There's a good choice made by Suraj Kakera, not trying to kick the ball out. He lifted it dangerously. Might have been a penalty corner given, but now Maninder comes away with the ball down that left channel. He'd do well to hold on to ball possession. He's done well so far. He's still just dispossessed in the end. Final 30 seconds. These are tantalizing moments in this match. Can Japan claw their way back? Can they get an equalizer? Or can India hold on? I think the short passes here, India, they'll get the free hit. That's what they're hoping for. Instructions coming from the sideline as well as Japan win the ball back. Final 5 seconds of the match now. India come away with the ball. Japan asking for a free hit. They're not going to get it. And the hoota sounds. The signal, the end of this match. And there is joy in the stands. There's joy in the Indian dugout and relief on the faces of some of the Indian players who know that they've managed to hold on to that 1-goal lead and take the bronze medal here at the Hero Asia Cup 2022.
They worked hard. They put all their effort. And they played the last remaining 1 minute with 10 players, knowing that Manjit had the yellow card. So Japan pushed forward, put in all that they can, all that they could, but not enough to score that equalizing goal. And what a relief to all these Indian players. Look at their faces. They're so happy to have had won the bronze, while the Japanese players are not in the best of spirit. But they have to accept the decision of the final score, where India has beaten Japan with 1-0. And these are old friends, Sunil and Siren Tanaka, just saying hello. This is what friendship is all about. And the score here at the Hero Asia Cup Jakarta 2022 is 1 to India and 0